My people,
I'ma do my stuff.
welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Pantone FC. We are within. Shout out for tuning in, guys. Blessed Friday, y'all. TGIF. And thank you again for the Arsenal. We done did it again, guys. Before I even break this down, because I'm staggered, I'm shook, I'm astonished, all those synonyms.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
You know the transfer that happened in Frank Lampard's era for a certain Kai Havertz from Bayern Leverkusen. When Kai Havertz arrived, he was one of the world beaters. Central attacking midfielder / false nine, poaching player that gets into the box. One of the best coming out of Germany. Fair enough, we pay a good 70 million or so. Great negotiation from Marina Granovskaya. Because Leverkusen, as we've seen in more recent history, can be very stubborn, and you might pay 150 for Florian Wirtz. Not saying Kai Havertz was on Florian Wirtz's level. He hadn't won trophies the way Wirtz won them, but still, there was definitely grounds for inflation, but we managed to bring the price down. What's more staggering about this transfer, why it's one of the greatest in Chelsea's history for me, is our capability to sell Havertz for a similar fee to which we bought him. When Kai Havertz did not hit the ground running, Kai Havertz was overall a confused player at Chelsea. We never really knew his best position at the club. He was a makeshift, if anything. He showed up in the big games, scored the big goals. We know this, but Chelsea have never slowed down. I really felt that losing Marina Granovskaya would make us less of a negotiator. I thought we would lose our prowess in terms of stepping into a boardroom and saying, this reason, that reason, valuation is at this level. But we haven't. We might be even worse. Because Noni MADUEKE scored 7 goals and provided 3 assists in the Premier League last season. He scored a few in the Conference League, I believe 3 goals. Is that enough to market a player? So across 2 full seasons at Chelsea, MADUEKE didn't even clock 15 goals for the club. And when I say 7 goals in the Premier League last season, guys, a hat-trick came at Molineux, at Wolves. Noni did not hit the ground running. He was not the player he was at PSV. The flair element was not the same. The English Premier League is a lot more defensive. But as Chelsea fans, I'm sure from me at least you can see I'm not sad about this departure. This is value for money. Arsenal, thank you. Thank you. I also want to send a preliminary shout out to Manchester United. At the time it was painful. We're supposed to be in Europa League. You guys are knocking us into the Conference League, but the marketing element that you gave us, thank you, Manchester United. And I'm even grateful that you went on to lose the Europa League final, but not that I'm happy for Spurs either. You get me?
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing.
But I just know that Spurs are only in the Champions League to make up numbers. So we're good. We move.
You need to leave.
Another one, before I leave y'all, Nicolas Jackson, reported by Fabrizio Romano, is likely to leave in this window. So if we're counting potential departures and respecting the business element of Clear Lake Capital and Blueco, it's mad. Nicolas Jackson could leave. Renato Vega, Ben Chilwell, Raheem Sterling, Axel Disasi, Carney Chukwuemeka. There could be even more. But the departure of Jackson, at minimum, it gives a bit of leeway to Mark Guiu to actually be a bit more of a contender in terms of starting games. I'm happy for Guiu, and I'm also happy if Jackson leaves. I'm not sad. Maybe I'm not joyous, but 2 full seasons of Jackson, are we convinced? I don't think so. I spoke a few days ago. I was backing Jackson if he stayed, but if he leaves, we don't lose much with the arrivals of both Delap and Joao Pedro. And if Maresca actually agrees to the move, I'm not saying Maresca has much of a say. We might still see him as a sort of puppet that just agrees to the business that happens. But still, if Maresca is comfortable working with a Joao Pedro and a Delap and a Mark Guiu, Jackson is surplus to requirements. And I'm not even going to see it past Arsenal to actually come and get Jackson if the Gyökeres deal becomes, a bit far-fetched and difficult. So, Arsenal, Jackson's available. Chelsea. You have to respect the business from Todd Bowley and the gang, guys. You know, this thing of buying young, it's not to say that every young player will rock the world and become one of the best and bring us the best value. No, it's just show enough potential to get a suitable buyer. That's what Noni Madueke has done. He's done enough to sell himself to the highest bidder. That's what we've done by buying a young player who is still young when we sell him. Still potential. You know, and Mikel Arteta will feel he can take Noni to the next level, the same way he's taken a Kai Havertz to the next level. You get me? Just had to step in and share my thoughts, guys. There'll probably be more news about Chelsea throughout the course of this day, which is madness, but probably the reality. We'll break it down when time allows, guys. Shout out for tuning in again, y'all. Blessings, my people.